there, and welcome to another episode of Talkappella. I am one half of your hosts, Elicia Edwards, and joining me is my good friend, Brian Alexander. Brian, how you doing? And yes, I sang your name.
I appreciate that. That was a very warm introduction, so I like it.
This is an acapella show, so we
Exactly.
are about singing here.
Exactly. And if you can't break out the theatrics here and with all the pleasantries and the
Yeah.
fancy ways of, introducing, where
And
else can you
talking
do
and
it?
talking with your hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
much fun.
We do all of that stuff here.
Yeah, we like to. We're animated on
Yeah.
occasion. I mean, we're
I'm
not,
doing
but
well.
there.
Yeah, but anyway, back on track. Alicia, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. Life is good. I went to earlier this month. I was out of town. I was in Florida and Georgia on tour with the
Okay.
Tabernacle Choir. So that was really
Wow.
awesome.
Big time. Okay.
Yeah, I got to perform in front of thousands of people. It was
Oh
real
my
fun.
goodness. World tours
And I
must be a
was
nice
and
life.
I got to meet the governor of Georgia and shake his hand and
What?
compliment his
Okay.
cowboy boots, which, as people from Texas, I mean, cowboy
Geor-
boots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
know
mean,
about
Georgia's the
cowboy
South.
boots.
Georgia's the
Yeah, but
South.
Georgia and
But
cowboy
but
boots,
he
I don't
had
know.
cowboy boots on, and so I, as a Texan, needed to compliment the cowboy boots. They were also
Oh,
nice
as
cowboy
you should
boots.
have.
So
So that's acceptable,
yes, it was very good. So on the
Okay.
docket today, we've
Okay.
got another session, I guess, of Baroque It Down, and
Mm-hmm.
we are really excited to discuss some things with each other, and like give some great information to our audience. And so I will go
Absolutely.
first. There
Okay.
was this one thing I know. For a brief period of time, we missed you for a little while, and in
Mm-hmm.
in that period of time on the show, I can't remember who it was I discussed it with, but I talked with
Mm-hmm.
somebody about the show flow diagram. It's also called the
Ooh.
Jackson set diagram. So this is the Tom Jackson set diagram, or the show flow diagram. It's Tom Jackson set diagram because Tom Jackson was the one who created it. And what's really, really cool about this is it gives your a cappella groups, any of your performing groups, an idea of how they should structure their set. Whether you have
Yeah.
like a 2-act show with an intermission in the middle, whether you've just got one, it gives you, it's basically your map to creating your set list. And
Mm-hmm.
I think this is really cool. So we've got opener, requires very little of the audience. They aren't really listening, needs to have a trash can ending. Now, when I think trash can ending, I think like lots of percussion. I'm thinking of like, oh, what is that? Tarzan, trash in the
Oh,
camp.
Trash in a Can.
Like
Uh-huh.
all of the
Zab it up, zoom it up.
yeah. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Such a
Good
good,
song.
such a good song. Honestly, one of my favorite Disney numbers to this day. And
Mm-hmm.
and you can see like also spread throughout here. I call them talkies. You've got your little excerpts where one of your members is going to talk to the audience. You're
Okay.
not just going to talk in between every song.
Mm-hmm.
I think a common mistake with groups is to just choose a bunch of songs that you like to sing
Yep.
and then spread those out
Very true.
throughout your set. Really,
Mm-hmm.
it's calculated. You don't just pick whatever you want. For our audience, you can pause the video, take a look at this, read through it. It's just a really great example of how you should structure your set. Just a brief overview of it. You've got your opener and then your next song, so original. Then you've got a hit song that's a radio-friendly tune, visual change-up, musical stretch, big fun, like party time. You
Mm-hmm.
can talk your audience down a little bit. You've got your big moment. And really, the first song that comes to my mind for that one is A Moment Like This by Kelly Clarkson, the
Oh
Queen,
boy.
one of the Queens. And then another
Sure.
hit song,
Okay.
and then your finale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a little bit of information in here on little like definitions of what kinds of songs these should be.
Yeah, this is that's an interesting diagram. And the first thing that comes to mind, I'm looking at it, and the first thought that comes to mind is that is so drastically different than a competition set.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
s-
It's not.
Specifically ICCA.
It's
Yes,
not designed for ICCA. This is designed for your show. And
exactly.
one of the
Mm-hmm.
important things about this is, like I said, it is so calculated. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
be really jarring if you just throw random songs in. It's like a movie. Good
Mm-hmm.
movies, they take you on a journey.
Yeah.
And that is what you're doing. You're taking your audience on a journey as they're watching your
Right.
set. I went to a show within the last couple of weeks, and it was very well done. It's a group that I really love to watch and listen to, um,
Okay.
and and they did a great job. They didn't talk in between every single number. I think that's also a common mistake amongst a cappella groups. You don't have to,
No.
unless you need some sort of transition between numbers. I don't think you don't need to talk through everything.
Mm-mm.
It's also like when you're courting somebody, you're going on a date. You're not gonna or you're courting somebody, you want to get married. My husband didn't ask me to
Hmm.
marry him on the first date. That would be
Oh, I hope
weird.
not.
That would be
Hmm.
jarring. I mean, I've heard of crazier things in Provo, Utah, but I mean,
True.
it's like you're not gonna come out swinging on
No.
like right away. Um, and it also goes to show that the talkies that are added in there, where your little bit of
Hmm.
narration, they are also calculated. They're not just thrown in there to take up
Absolutely.
space. They're there to help like transition from one song to another. Um,
Yeah. And that makes
yeah.
me, if I can interject real quick, so that makes me think groups who are really good at incorporating like the skits or like you call them the talkies
Oh
in
yeah.
between sets. It made me think of the Bubs or group that I know that they interject a lot of skits, a lot of acts, a lot of fun in between. But it makes sense because that's their personality. Where I think as other groups they really just throw in talking and stuff because they feel like they got to introduce every song.
Right.
They have to make sure the audience understands everything exactly as they understand it, unless, I mean, instead of having them just experience the
Hmm.
music and the art and the show
Well,
at the end of the
and
day.
we've talked about this before. You're not just competing against other a cappella groups. You're competing
Mm-mm.
against somebody going on a date to the movies, somebody like going out to
Hmm.
eat at a restaurant, going bowling.
Yeah,
You are a form of entertainment.
absolutely.
And I know like I said, I know we've talked about this on the show before. I know you weren't here for it, but I do remember talking about this. And we're not going to have a link to this diagram for you to click on, but if you would like to go back, just rewind the video, pause, take a screenshot in your mind, or just take a screenshot of the
Just like an
video.
actual
Honestly,
screenshot.
take an actual
Yeah,
screenshot. It's 2024, and if you don't know how to
there you
take a
go.
screenshot, Google it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
well, and all of this needs to be like it's all scripted. Like you've got
Hmm.
your sheet music or your learning tracks. You're learning those. You also need to learn your talking points. They are not.
Yes.
You can't just wing it because the
No.
audience is less forgiving than you might think.
Yeah, and the audience is a lot smarter than people give them credit
Yes.
for. So
Yes.
there are very few groups who are actually extremely good at improv. So I agree
Mm-hmm.
100% with that. And I also want to make another point. You mentioned about performing songs that only you want to hear at the end of the day. That's not the goal here. Should you choose songs that work for your group that you guys are excited for? Absolutely.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like you said, you're competing with so many other factors that you got to keep the audience in mind at the end of the day. So I saw a lot of hit songs on that. I mean, I kind of have my issues with that kind of thought, but at the same time, it also makes sense to me. So you should have enough that the audience is just like it grasps them, and like the
Mm-hmm.
music just speaks to them, and it's something that they will latch onto.
Well, and
But at the same,
just because you like a song doesn't mean your audience is going to. Projection
exactly.
in this case is not your friend.
No,
Yeah.
no, mm-mm, no. Save it for, like you said, save it for an actual competition or save it for like a themed show
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah, and
that you want to
there's
do.
nothing wrong. Or if you want to do a music video, great.
Or that, even
Like
better.
or you could do both. You could have something in your set
Hmm.
and make it a music video. Like it's the the sky's the limit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I like that. I've never seen that diagram before. I think it works. I think more groups need to be very intentional
Yeah.
about their sets. So yeah.
What you got for me?
Well, I am so glad that you asked me that. So today, Alicia, as per tradition, when it comes to Broke It Down, I'm just a stickler for good videos.
Okay.
And so
There's nothing wrong with a good video.
I know, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just the music videos, they just speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a good one. I think I've
Okay.
got a good one for you today. So today we're going to revisit one of my, I want to call it one of my recent old favorites. So
Okay.
I have my songs that I've just known for years. I've been in the acapella game as well as you for a very long
Is it
time. So
Straight No
there are some
Chaser?
songs. No, not straight no chaser. I would be very surprised if
Okay.
you actually are going to expect the group I'm going to bring up today.
Okay.
I don't even know if you've heard of them before.
I may not have. I don't know.
The group that I would like to share with our viewers today is none other than one of my favorite all-male a cappella groups. They're called, I always butcher the school name. I don't know if it's Brandeis.
I think it's
Uh,
Brandeis.
Brandeis.
Yeah,
They're called
and watch
voicemail.
that be wrong.
Viewers, correct us. Put it
Brandeis.
down. You know,
Potato,
phonetically you
tomato,
spell it out.
tomato.
Yeah, close enough. You know who we're talking about. If you type it in
Yeah.
YouTube, it'll help you out. But we're going to look at Brandeis. See, I'm already forgetting what we just decided. Brandeis.
I think we should
Brandeis.
say how many ways can we mispronounce Brandeis?
These Brandeis,
Brandeis.
Brandeis. Yes. You know what? I'm gonna call them voicemail. So we're gonna look at voicemail's rendition of a very, very popular song done in acapella, Queen's "Somebody to Love," but their rendition is one of my absolute favorites because it's a little bit different.
Somebody to love me. All I need is somebody to love. Oh, find me. Better find me somebody. Find somebody to love me. All I need is somebody to love. Oh, find me. Hey, everybody, we're Brandeis Voicemail. Once again, we have an intermission right after the song. Don't leave, because we got more, baby.
That was fun.
Oh, yes, fun. I love that you use that word.
I
fun.
mean, I feel like that's a good word to describe good showmanship. It's always fun. And I think, and this does not apply to them. I was going to say, if you are a group that maybe your talent or your blend or something is maybe not as great, showmanship can sometimes hide that.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You play to your strengths.
But I do not think their showmanship is masking anything here. That was good.
No. Yeah, I think that they are good at controlling the crowd, having them focus on what they want them to focus on. And then also they had some really artistic chords and their breakdown section.
I love a good scat. So that
my gosh.
That was just real fun for me.
People don't realize how hard scatting is.
Scatting is so hard. I will never attempt to do it. I can appreciate it coming out of anybody's mouth but mine.
No, I agree. So back in my college,
I'm not good at it.
No, I mean, it's tough. It actually takes a lot of practice. And back in my college group, one of the guys, he started off as our vocal percussionist, but ended up being one of our great tenors and being our beatboxer. He was actually a vocal jazz major. So we got him, we utilized him.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
I know, we utilized him. Well, he made me mad as well because the first time he got a solo, the ladies absolutely swooned over him, and it made me upset. I was pissed at him. I was like, how dare you?
Were you pissed?
Yeah.
Or were you just
I'm a
jealous?
baritone. No. It wasn't jealous. It wasn't jealousy.
I
No.
am sensing
Hey.
a hint of jealousy here.
No, you know what? It wasn't jealousy because, I could sing lower than him. So I wasn't even bothered by that.
I
It was
could
just the
probably
fact that
I could probably sing lower than him too if he was a tenor.
you know what?
So
If you heard his voice and he has no problem hearing this if he ever watched this. Yes, you could absolutely sing lower than him. That's how high his voice was. But anyway, it just made me upset that he comes along and sings a Jason Mraz cover, and the girl's like, "Oh, who's that guy that sings the Jason Mraz?"
Jason
Don't worry about that.
Mraz. What
Anyway,
a
I
talent.
digress. I digress.
Okay. Okay.
But he was so good at scat, and we utilized that very well. And this guy, the lead singer here on this cover, he does a phenomenal job. Not only that, he, like you said, he has fun with it. He's doing the little when he started doing that and it was like playing it up kind of thing.
I'm
I
like,
just
oh,
thought
that
that
wasn't.
that was
I'm like,
great.
oh, that wasn't singing, but that was entertaining.
Yes, that's
Like
what it is.
he he incorporated all of it masterfully.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I think sometimes we get so caught up in just the art and wanting to be, no pun intended, pitch perfect with everything that we sometimes forget. Exactly. Thank you. We sometimes forget that we're there to be entertainers first and foremost. Yes, it's great if we get every note right. We lock in on every chord. We have phenomenal blend. We get dynamics, but more importantly than that, the audience will remember if they were entertained by what they were exposed to.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
there was that component. And then the other thing I want to bring up, I mean, first I'll say, go and watch the whole video. I didn't even begin to share enough of how great this video is. But one of the things I also enjoyed is how they utilize a section of the song to promote the intermission coming
Right.
up.
Well, and I noticed that like right as we were stopping, I was like that
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing a group that is not just talking and there's nothing
Yes.
behind them. I
Mm-hmm.
will always appreciate when a group has some sort of like instrumental music playing as they're talking.
Yeah.
Like it just
Mm-hmm.
it makes me want to sit on the edge of my seat and
Mm-hmm.
listen to them more. And so that's always something that's fun for me to for me to see.
Agreed. And I will say that if there was nothing else, go and watch the video. If you don't take anything else from this great, amazing video, groups learn to vamp, learn how to vamp in a song. There's so much you can do, whether you're pitching the intermission, whether you want to give somebody a little scat solo or a little beatbox solo, whatever it is. If you learn to vamp and you all can get on the same page, it opens up a world of possibilities on
Oh,
what you can
totally.
do for a song. And it's
Totally.
something you can't get off a recorded track.
And if you're not sure where to find Brandeis, whatever the school's name is, voicemail, we've got the link below for you.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was one of my favorites. It's one of my
It
favorites.
was,
Absolutely.
I mean, for good reason.
So yes, as Alicia mentioned, go check out Voicemail's cover. You will not regret it. And on that note, that's going to wrap up today's episode of Baroque It Down. We want to
Baroque
make
it
sure that
down.
there we go. We're on that. We're on it today. On that note, we want to remind everyone to like the video and also be sure to subscribe to Acaville. We would love your support. We would love for you to continue to follow us and stay up to date on our latest videos, as well as all the things we have coming up on our other social media channels, which you can find in the description below. We want to thank Acaville so much for allowing us to just talk to you guys, be able to share this great content, share tips and advice. The information Alicia shared with the diagram today is so helpful, and we think that you all would benefit from it. So be sure to check out all that content. And for everything else, stay tuned.